Help if I have the mic.
Maybe.
Maybe. What's up, y'all? This is part 2 of episode
Part
34.
two.
34. So this is going to be, since it's part 2, this will be episode Thurman Thomas. This will be the Thurman Thomas episode, not the Walter Payton episode. So part 2, but we won't be talking much football this episode.
What?
We will be, it's June, but we will be jumping into the Men's College World Series. A lot happened over the weekend. Shout out Arkansas Razorbacks, by the way, for beating North Carolina in 2 games and in spectacular fashion, by the way. Walk off in the bottom of the 9th by Brady Slavens. So woo pig,
Very
y'all.
nice.
Yeah, so 8 teams left, Men's College World Series. Our alma mater, Arkansas Razorbacks, who went in unseeded, even though they were number 2 in the nation at some point earlier in the season, I believe it was. Is that correct?
I think they're number 1 at some point.
Well, they got there. At least, unlike the number 1 team unlike the team that's been number 1 pretty much all year. I think Arkansas has been number 2
That was
all year.
that was us last year. That was.
Yeah, but it's still just but we weren't.
Yeah, we weren't cocky.
We weren't we weren't the arrogant SOBs that the whole Tennessee roster is. But
I haven't used SOB in so long.
I haven't either. I mean, you can say, son of a bitch. It's okay. But yeah, Tennessee. I think everybody that wasn't in Tennessee was pulling for Notre Dame, myself included. I did not watch any games Sunday. Like I told you before this, I was out mowing. I just came in and caught glimpses of it. But my mom had come over. She just did the no call, no show thing, just showed up.
Yeah.
And she's like, "You're not watching the game?" I was like, I'm in the middle of something. And which, it's fine, whatever. But I turn on the TV and she's watching the game, and then she's telling me something, that's going on in her life. And then I just say, "Oh crap," just right in the middle of her story, because I saw the Tennessee Notre Dame score at the bottom of the screen. And I just immediately, got excited. I was like, "Wow, Notre Dame really ousted them." I thought after Saturday's game where Tennessee just routed them that Tennessee will beat them in Game 3.
Yeah,
it's Tennessee. They're just a better team. As I do a mic switch here real quick, had a little cord wraparound issue tangled up. Had to deal with there. Not that those of you listening will care, but yeah, it's cool. It was cool to see Notre Dame put Tennessee out, but like you said, our alma mater was in the same boat last year. Number 1 team in the country gets ousted before they can even get to the College World Series. But we got 8 teams left. We got 4 of which are SEC teams, all of which are from the West too, right? Yeah, the SEC West.
They are.
So shout out SEC West. In particular, again, woo pig. But Friday be the first 2 games. You got Oklahoma against Texas A&M, then Notre Dame against Texas. 2 p.m. game for A&M, 7 p.m. for Notre Dame, Texas. Saturday, our Hogs take on Stanford, who's basically the favorite going into the tournament. It was the number 2 overall seed, which is ranking, essentially, They say seeding, but I've heard them say seeding, but it's not a seed. It's what you're ranked. You had to play. You had to play your way. I mean, it was that had to do with how you were seeded, like at the start of the actual postseason. At least is my understanding. But
at the start of the regionals, I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, it's your ranking, right? I mean, because then how would an unranked team, get to the postseason?
It's a mystery,
I guess. But Stanford is basically considered the favorite. Arkansas did play Stanford on February 27th, and at the Round Rock Classic in Texas, they lost that game to the Cardinal 5-0. So Stanford's legit, y'all. But I mean, you never know. That's why you play these things.
Yeah.
And it's not a best of 3, right? I mean, that's not till the final. It's basically a double elimination tournament, correct?
Correct.
Right. So I haven't looked at the bracket to see how that plays out. I just basically know Arkansas, I guess you could say, has the toughest draw in the first game. But Ole Miss and Auburn, that ought to be a pretty good one.
Yeah, that should be pretty good. But I'll be at game 3. I'll be at Arkansas versus Stanford. Pretty pumped about it. Never been to Omaha, so first time for everything.
That's exciting. Hopefully you bring them some good luck. Hopefully they don't get just routed, kind of put a damper on the trip if that happens. How long are you staying there, by the way?
Oh, not long at all. Like, I think we're getting in Friday night and leaving out on Sunday. So,
okay, so you won't be going to you'll just be going to the one game, I assume.
the one game, yeah.
Considering what ticket prices are.
Yeah, I don't want to pay for 2 games.
I actually know somebody else that's going to the Razorback game.
I hear ticket prices aren't bad, but you're not guaranteed to get in. Like, apparently you can buy $10 tickets at the gate and just show up early, and then they go by and let in so many people, so they mark your ticket if you're going to be in for that game or not. But there's like absolutely no shade whatsoever out there where you're sitting at. So we paid a little extra, got into a little bit of shade. My friends told me it was worth it. They've been before, so I'm just going to trust them.
Well, considering what the heat's doing to my place right now, I can vouch for saying it was probably worth the money to get a shaded spot, especially this time of year. Although when I went to Nebraska, it wasn't humidity wasn't, what it is here, but still heat is heat. So I guess you would say on paper Stanford's the favorite, but I mean you never know in the College World Series. That's what's so great about college baseball. I mean you really never know. I mean, Tennessee was the heavy favorite going into the postseason. They don't even get there like Arkansas was the year before. But even then, nobody was really that surprised that Arkansas. I say nobody. A lot of people weren't surprised, myself included, that they got ousted by NC State last year. Not necessarily after the first game where Arkansas beat them like 20-0 or something like that.
I think it's like 20. Yeah, it was something stupid.
Yeah, and then
I
they
don't know
dropped
if you
the
can match it in a video game.
and then they dropped the next 2. But other than that massive offensive performance, Arkansas really they weren't doing much with the bats. They were playing small ball, and their pitching is what was winning them games. But yeah, I don't know that I can really look at it, and I'd say I guess Stanford's the favorite, but Arkansas they've battled with everybody they played. I mean, it's with Oklahoma State and the regionals.
After the Oklahoma State game, they can I think they can hang with anybody.
So. Yeah, and doing what they did at North Carolina. I did see game 1 of the Super Regional at North Carolina. Connor Nolan looked in trouble in the first inning.
Yeah,
you're thinking, man, this is gonna be a long day.
Bases loaded with 1 out.
Yeah, and then they get out of it, and then he just dominated. I mean, just dominated the rest of the game. Now what was the final of that game? Was it like 4-1?
That game was 4-1. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah. Now I did tune in. I did tune in for a little bit. Like I said, when the Marge came over, we were up 2-0, and then North Carolina came back and tied it, and then Marge was like, "Okay, I'm leaving because we're doing bad." So she literally left right after that. I was like, "Yeah, I guess I need to get back to mowing." So. But yeah, Connor Nolan in typical ace fashion was dominant. That win versus North Carolina. He's going to need to do much of the same against Stanford on Saturday. I will definitely be tuning in for that game. So I guess I'll be mowing her yard Sunday. Because I'm not going to do it during that game for sure. But I mean, either way, I mean, you're still going to be in it, no matter what happens. But your path is much easier if you win it. So
Most definitely.
yeah. So shout out Hogs, go Razorbacks. We're obviously a little biased. We're not going to hide it. I'm not anyway. So who if you have to pick a favorite, who are you going to pick? Let's go ahead and do that. Let's pick an early favorite. One, who do you got Saturday in that game? Let's just pick the whole list. Why not? Oklahoma A&M.
Man, I don't know. I think A&M's just, I don't know. They're hard to beat here lately, and they turned it on the last month of the season. So I don't know. I'd go with A&M with that one. Got to roll with Notre Dame over Texas because I'm just not going to root for Texas.
You don't have to root for them, but I mean, you can pick who you think will win.
Still not going to pick them.
Not going to do it. Okay.
Man, I'll roll with Arkansas, and I'll pick Auburn over Ole Miss.
All right. I'm going to go A&M. I'm going to go Texas over Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame's high is going to come down a little bit. And just the stage might get to them a little bit. Although I do think it's very cool that their helmets, as they should, are like the Notre Dame football helmets, and it's just like all gold and probably has like the real gold in it and all that. I do think that part is dope. So I did like that about them. I will be cheering for Notre Dame. I would like for them to win. I just don't think that they will. I'm gonna go Stanford over Arkansas. I hope I'm wrong. Man. I absolutely hope I'm wrong. But I mean, Arkansas has just been in too many close games, too many heart attack like games, and Stanford's shown that they can beat them 5-0, and they probably. I'm sure Stanford's pitching is apparently lights out. So
yeah,
Arkansas is probably
when did we meet them in that Round Rock Classic? Was that like a tournament, or was that like a?
It was in February. It was late February.
Games? I mean,
February 27th.
That was before we swapped up our rotation. It's a different team.
It's a completely different team. Yeah, I mean, it could go either way, and Arkansas is red hot right now. I hope I'm wrong, but on paper it looks like Stanford's the better team, so I'll roll with them. And I'm going to pick Auburn. They're the higher seeded team. I've picked nothing but the higher seeds. But it's when you're putting up like 14 and 20 runs, I'm going to pick you over anybody. And Ole Miss, really, even though they're in the College World Series, they're not as good as they were last year, at least from what I can tell. So I'm going to go with Auburn.
They goose egg Southern Miss both games.
Yeah. Okay. If you're picking a national champion from this group, I know it's early, but I'm going to go ahead and we'll say an early favorite, and we have the right to change our minds based on obviously the results for next week's episode. But if you had to pick an early favorite, who are you going to go with? You're not going to say Arkansas.
We already established the early favorite is Stanford, but I kind of feel like this will go to.
But who are you picking?
I don't know, somebody like A&M. I could see A&M pulling it together.
I'm going to pick Auburn. I'm going to say that's my early favorite, but I kind of
I don't know if they're there yet, but yeah, I could see them.
Yeah, I kind of like your pick better, but I've already said it, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to roll with Auburn. But I do like your pick, A&M as an early favorite, because the favorite doesn't necessarily win it in this tournament, which is what makes it so fun. It's kind of like basketball to an extent. All right, so again, touch back up on the game 2. Arkansas ousting North Carolina. I did like North Carolina's managers, kind of comments about us after the game, and I don't know if it was meant as a shot at Tennessee or not for what he said about Arkansas playing the right way.
Of course it was.
Yeah, but but of course that's how everybody interprets it, because that's how arrogant and cocky Tennessee has been all year. It's like there's a reason you're
Man,
villainized.
not every team has a player running the bases, flipping the bird to the opposing outfield.
True.
But
Double bird too, right?
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Connor Nolan, game 1 win. Brady Slavin's walk-off hit in the bottom of the ninth to send Hogs back to Omaha. Yeah, we've touched up on them playing this year already, but it's June now. We're at mid-June, so a little different than February 27th. The something that did kind of trip me out on the Mothership website on the headlines, a national anthem singer nixed from singing it. He's been scratched from singing the national anthem at the College World Series by the NCAA for his horns down gesture. I believe he is he an A&M alum?
When when did he give the horns down gesture?
Okay, here we'll read straight from the article. National anthem singer says his performance at the Men's College World Series has been canceled because he made the horns down gesture before a Women's College World Series semifinal between Texas and Oklahoma State.
Kick him out.
Yeah, I remember watching that game. That's the one that Oklahoma State blew it. Remember?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the massive error.
How many errors can you do on one play? Go watch that footage. You'll find out.
Pretty impressive. Now Arkansas did something similar in theirs, but they did come back and win that. In whatever it was, the regional, I think it was, or yeah, I think it was the regional. But yeah, it's here nor there. But Zach Collier, a 27-year-old U.S. history teacher in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and Texas A&M alumnus, basically posted this week on Facebook that his performance was nixed. And he posted screenshots of the emails he got from the NCAA, and the NCAA, the College World Series of Omaha Inc. Said it was contacted by the NCAA because, quote, we have documented proof that he made offensive gestures in mockery of a participating team, and we do not feel comfortable allowing him to perform. Collier gave a horns down gesture. We're calling it a gesture. I mean, he did the horns down thing at the A&M at the Texas Oklahoma State softball game. Oh, and this is offensive, according to the NCAA. And the Collier goes on to say, saying that I'm making a mockery of a participating team because I put a horns down is ridiculous, which it is. He's 100% correct.
Yeah.
It's goofy. I just thought, we're not going to talk too much about this because it's dumb, but we're talking about it a little bit because it's dumb, and it was an interesting headline, I thought, so we're touching up a little bit on it. But we've discussed a little bit Tennessee getting ousted by Notre Dame. Let's jump to Rory's comments on the live. What do we call it? The live series.
They're calling it live golf. Yeah, live golf series.
Okay. So what was his comments? Were basically, what were his comments exactly? He was basically saying it was
well, he's alluding to the fact that
sticking up for the tour.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, it's there. He's alluding to the fact that, hey, I'm winning trophies that other past legends have won. Their names are on these trophies. It means more.
Took the easy way out, is what he said.
And saying, these people took the easy way out. He's like, my dad had a saying whenever I was a kid, you make your bed, you got to lay in it. They've made their bed. But I didn't have time to read all the article. But yeah, he's basically saying, yeah, they're all, or, they'll probably be wanting to come back. Probably all think they're going to be able to come back. And he's like, no, it's not going to happen, and I'm fine with it, kind of deal.
Didn't they immediately kind of say, like, I think they said this like the next day after we brought it up last week. Didn't they suspend
Yeah,
like
they announced the
all live participants basically
yeah.
from the tour, from PGA play?
Yep.
Like that's a fact. That's 100% correct.
Yes.
Yeah,
Now
that's
they'll still be able to play in USGA events, but not in PGA Tour events.
yeah, and I saw that the tour president or whatever he is, I saw his comments about it and just talking about how has anybody had to, talking about going over 9/11 and all that, and then saying, has anybody had to apologize? Um, I can't, I don't want to misquote.
Apologize for being a member of the PGA Tour.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I was like, all right, shots fired. Uh,
I mean, it's
so,
yeah. I
yeah.
mean, where is the money coming from? That's the big question.
Yeah, because it's a
So
lot. It's a lot of
it's a
money.
lot.
It's a lot of Saudi money.
So
But I put it down here. I mean, could it ever be a threat to the tour? I mean, how
no,
would it work? If it were to be, how would it work? I would think you would have
they would have
to.
to. Yeah, you'd have to get the big names in there. They're gonna have to get the big names, and it would just have to come with time too. But
See,
whatever live golf is gonna do better, like as far as broadcasting or this or that, guess what? The PGA is gonna adopt them and implement them into their broadcasting, and then it's just gonna be on par with PGA, and then all you're watching is uh golfers who aren't recognizable shooting okay numbers out at these courses.
I think if you were going to make it work, you'd snag a bunch of these young golfers like coming out of college, offer them the money that they're offering, like say, hey, here's 5 million. You don't have to go to.
Do you see what last place won?
No.
120 grand for last place.
What was it? What the winner get, like
4.2 million.
Yeah, I think I heard it was like 4 million. But I would think that's how it would work if you're them. You'd get the young and up and comers coming up out of college, snatch them up early. Say, look, you don't have to go. Don't you have to go to like PGA Tour school or something like that?
Yeah, you have to earn your card and you have to go on the Corn Ferry Tour. And yeah, you have to go
Yeah,
to what they call it, Q school or something like that. Yeah, there's plenty of hoops to jump through to get on the PGA Tour. It's
yeah.
not,
So
hey, I was good in college. I'm on the tour now. It's not how it works.
yeah, well, that's how, if you're live, that's how you make it work. That's how you compete. You just go snag them and say,
But
you
then
don't have to
again,
do all this. You don't have to do all this crap. Like, we'll give you $5 million now to just come start playing with us. That's intriguing if you're a college student that, or
it
somebody
is,
fresh out of
but
college that doesn't have any money.
it is, but here's my point. I mean, at the end of the day, who are you going to be bragging that you beat at the end of the day?
I mean, you'll be bragging with your
I mean, it's
five
just
mil.
like, it'd
You'll
be
be,
just like me playing a nice course over the weekend and for some reason, somehow making ridiculously large bets and winning. But I beat Luke on the golf course. I won, but I didn't beat anyone that was substantially good. Like,
yeah, but you'll be bragging
phenomenal.
with your 5 million friends that they,
Yeah,
paid you.
but most of the people ain't gonna be caring that you just beat a nobody. But they're like, oh well, he's got a lot of money though.
Yeah, but I mean that's the thing. I don't know if I'm gonna care if I'm making bank. But then again, cough button. I guess you can't come. I'd say you could always like come back, but the tour's making it sound like that's not going to be an option.
Yeah, tour saying good luck.
Well, it's interesting. It's a serious matter in the golf community. I didn't realize how big of a deal it really was until you just see the
Well,
comments.
it's a big deal. I mean, not just because of the golf. I mean, it's what do they call it? Like nation washing or something. They're trying to do it with other sports, including golf. I mean, they're trying to do it with Formula One and trying to do it with, I believe, some maybe some tennis event or no, some, I think it's a professional soccer, not football, but yeah, professional soccer. They're trying to do something with, but yeah, it's all weird. You can go down a rabbit hole all about it, but
I did see Rory's
it's a big deal.
Rory's comments about Greg Norman basically after because Rory had a heck of a weekend,
Yeah,
winning whatever tournament that was or event, and saying which gave him I think 21 tour wins, which is one more than Greg Norman, and of course Greg Norman. I think he said something like brainwashed or something. So Rory was brainwashed about his comments about.
But all this all this crap with the like Bryson DeChambeau saying like, oh, well, I'll get more free time and whatever. Dude, you're a professional golfer. You get all the freaking free time in the world you want. I mean, you're going to work on the golf course. If you want to put in that 4 extra days of work in the week, you do it. I mean, but you don't have to. You can show up on Thursday and swing it for 4 days if you want. You don't have to be out there all that time. And there's only so many events in a year. It's not every freaking week. I mean, they're acting like they're working 80-hour weeks every 52 weeks a year.
Yeah, I just liked what Rory said. I mean, it was kind of perfect timing. Gets one more tour win than Greg Norman said, and that gives me one more than somebody else. Obviously that shot. Which was perfect. So I mean, Rory had a great weekend, but yeah, we'll see how it plays out. In other news, speaking of other sports, the Stanley Cup Final starts tomorrow, Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central on ABC and ESPN Plus. Tampa Bay Lightning going for a three-peat, taking on the Colorado Avalanche. It looks like they're going to be in Denver for the first 2 games before heading back to Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay going for the three-peat. Do we have some predictions? Because we watched so much hockey this year. But we're still going to predict it. That's not, I mean, it's our show. We'll do whatever the hell we want.
Well, I have a prediction. I mean, I'm going to be pulling from the Avalanche, but I'm saying Tampa Bay is going to be the first to three-peat in a long time.
So, are they?
Yes.
I didn't even, I haven't, I mean, you don't even hear about a lot of consecutive. I mean, you hear about them getting there multiple years in a row, but a lot of them don't necessarily win it consecutively. I know the Penguins did that, they would win it and then get there and then lose, but then get back there and win. I don't know. Hockey's entertaining like that. I'll go with Tampa Bay. I'll go with the Lightning to three-peat. I'm gonna say they'll do it in. I'm gonna say they'll do it. Ooh. 6 games.
Oh, who would have guessed?
I wanted to say 7, but
sure you did.
I did. I wanted to say 7 because hockey finals always seem to go 7 games. Like they're always so back and forth, and you never know.
I'm gonna say 5. Or no, I'm gonna say 6. Wouldn't be surprised if it's 5 or 7. But yeah, it's gonna be 6. But
you wouldn't be surprised if it's 5 or 6.
Yeah, you like that prediction? You like that prediction?
I wouldn't be surprised if it's super easy. I wouldn't be surprised really if hard.
If the series lasted 4 to 7 games. I mean,
I wouldn't be surprised if they damn near sweep them, or if it's just a nail biter all 7 games. I wouldn't be surprised either way.
Because Tampa's made some pretty quick work of their previous opponents. But yeah, I'm saying 6. I could see them getting it done in 5. I really don't see it going 7. So
I don't think that's been ever said before in the history of a sports talk.
Whatever.
I wouldn't be surprised if it goes 5 or 7 games.
I'm going for 6. Wouldn't be surprised for 5 or 7. It's or the ever eluding 8th game.
I wouldn't be surprised if Brady throws 7 touchdowns or 7 picks. I wouldn't. Something like that.
Pretty sweet.
That'd be interesting. More likely the 7 touchdowns. But yeah, I'll go Tampa Bay 6. Did you say 6 also?
Yes.
All right, so Lightning 3-peating. Head to Vegas with your bets, y'all. You heard it here first because we cover so much hockey during the year. We've touched up on it, in a few episodes. But we will give a Major League Baseball standings update real quick. The New York teams have the 2 best records in baseball right now. Yankees have the best overall record at 44-16. They are 9-1 in their last 10 games. The crosstown rival, if you want to call it that, Mets are 40-22, leading the National League. So something's happened to the Dodgers where they've dropped off quite a bit. But yeah, Mets 40-22, 5-5 in their last 10 games, but clearly ahead of their spot there in the NL East. But all is right in the world with the Central, the NL Central. The St. Louis Cardinals, my St. Louis Cardinals, are sitting atop the Central.
Didn't they lose to the Reds last week?
They won 2 of 3. The Reds have gotten better. They took the series, man. Cardinals got 2 of 3. That's what matters. They got 2 of 3. They're 6-4 in their last 10 games. 1.5 games ahead of the Brewers for the top spot. Yeah, they're 9 games over 500. Cardinals, 36-27, and the Cubs are next to last in the division at 23-37, which is only 1.5 games ahead of the Reds, who now have only the 3rd worst record in the league at 22-39. So the Reds are improving. I did not check their last 10 games winning. I actually think I did. I just didn't write it down. I think it was like 4-6 or something. So they're improving. I mean, we had an episode where they were 3-16 or something.
Yeah, it was something terrible.
22-39 is much more respectable than that. But the MLB worst record, Kansas City Royals, man, they have fallen since that 2014. I think it was World Series 2014 or 15. I think it was 14. But they're sitting at 20-40. Billy Bean's Oakland A's, that Moneyball thing isn't quite working right now. They're just one more win above KC at 21-41. So we've touched up on the best and worst teams, and of course the NL Central leading St. Louis Cardinals.
Speaking of, did you see where Yachty set the put out for a catcher record?
I did. I saw that today. I saw a post on that today.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, one more ahead, past Pudge Rodriguez, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ivan Rodriguez. When I was a kid, I think I would say Ivan, and then I heard him say Ivan.
Sure. Yeah.
I was like, "Ooh, that's a cooler way to say it." But yeah, so baseball's here. We are well into it now. I mean, next month will be like the All-Star break. I mean, man, we are.
Oh yeah, it will be.
I mean, we're 60 something games in, man. Right at 60 for some. We're kind of right at the 60 game mark. Now, granted, there's 100 more. How many are there in a season? 162.
I thought it was somewhere around 162. Plus the postseason.
Well, yeah, but I'm just regular
in
season.
Spring training. I
believe it's 100. I believe it's 162 games. But nice belch, by the way. Is that a belch?
No.
Okay. Because I'm on root beer number 2 here. And
oh dang, man, you probably got a good one worked up.
Nothing right now. Maybe it's
building. Shake them walls, man.
Possibly in this place. We'll see. But that will pretty much wrap it up, y'all. Another quick plug for our sponsor, Rhino Races, rhinoraces.com. Y'all have 5 different races, ultra marathon like challenge with the Rhino Ultra. You can sign up for your race, 1 or all 5 races. They're on their website. You can run it tonight. You can run it tomorrow. You can run it next week. Whatever works for you. Visit rhinoraces.com. Register for your race. Track your own run with your fitness app. And take a screenshot of your results. Submit them as proof. Get your award by mail. Free shipping on all orders, by the way. So check out rhinoraces.com today. And again, you can find us on Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, the Wisdom app. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and check us out on Twitter at Shoe Booty Sports. And until next week, with episode Kevin Durant. I already thought of it. Didn't even have to really think about it.
Durantula.
Yeah, the episode Durantula, y'all. Episode 35. Same time next week, next Tuesday. Until then, see y'all. This is Graham Powell, host, co-host.
I'm Brother Brown.
All right, deuces, y'all.
See y'all later.